Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and into my home. So today I put together a video for you showing you all the tasks that I like to do for my spring cleaning. These are typically tasks that you only have to do once a year, and I like to do all of these during spring cleaning. Okay, let's get busy. Okay, so one of the first areas that I like to clean is the grout. Grout can really get grungy and it can get dirty and it can get stained if you're not cleaning it enough. So this is the grout cleaner that I like to use. It's more gentle and it will clean up dirty grout. However, if I have more stubborn spots, I'm going to show you what I use there. And all you do is you just simply spray it right into the grout line, allow it to sit for a few minutes. I also have this handy brush that I use. This is a lot easier to use than to get down on the ground on your hands and knees. This is an actual grout brush, and I will link it for you. Now, why does our grout get dirty, especially for mopping the floors, right? You would think that they wouldn't get dirty. Well, part of the reason is that we are wiping away the dirt that's on the actual tile, and oftentimes it will get stuck right into the grout lines. Who knew, right? So if you don't do deep cleans of your floor very often, then you can run the risk of swiping that dirt right into the grout lines, which is going to get it dirty. Doesn't mean it's stained, it just means that it's dirty, okay? Another reason is if there's spills and you don't get them cleaned up quick enough, they can seep in to the grout, get dirty. Sometimes they stained, but if you have a good seal on there, you're not going to get the stains. Now, once you go in there and you clean it really good like that, then I take some water on my mop and I, generously go over each line over and over and be sure that I get the tile too, because some of that splashes up on the tile, and just give everything a good clean with some fresh water. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Cleaning the grout can be a whack-a-mole situation. You know what I mean? So once you start one area and you see how clean it is, you automatically feel like you need to do another area, which you do because, obviously it's going to look much different after it's cleaned than when it's dirty. So as each room transitions into the next room, you just find that you end up having to do the whole ding darn house. So anyways, I will be doing that. Of course, I'm not going to do that here on this video. You don't have to watch me do the whole ding darn house. But cleaning your grout can end up into a whack-a-mole situation, but if you seal the grout, it makes it less tedious and it's not going to get stained. So you may need to reseal your high traffic floor grout every 6 months to a year. Now, the high traffic areas tend to be the kitchen, living room, bathrooms, entryway, hallways. At least that's what they are for me. Now, you can tell if the grout is sealed if water beads up on the surface after you put a few drops right into the grout joint. Now, if the water soaks into the grout, it's going to need to be resealed. Okay, so be sure that you're checking the water in your mop bucket. If it gets dirty like this, be sure to clean it out. It's that type of dirty water that gets stuck into the grout lines, making it dirty in the first place. Okay, so this is the grout cleaner that I like to use if I have stubborn spots, okay? This one's a little bit more difficult to use. You have to have, a way of being able to get it down there. So I decided that just a little container that I can easily hold and a foam brush that I can throw away when I'm done. And I go to the most stubborn areas that I'm not able to get with at least 2 passes of the other grout cleaner. Okay, this one is a little stronger, so you really want to save the integrity of your grout the best that you can. So I like to start small and then work my way up in products and not just go straight for the more harsh product. Okay, so but this is going to get it cleaned and it's going to make it shine and it will match the other grout. Once again, you're going to want to use some fresh water and you're going to want to mop all this up and allow it to dry. All right, next I do wall repair and touch-up paint, okay? So I really like this compound here because it's pink when you put it on and when it dries, it turns white. Now, I'm using my finger instead of one of those little spatulas because I have textured walls. Here in Texas, everybody has textured walls. It comes with your house, and it costs an arm and a leg to have them put in flat walls. So I'm going to try to match the texture at the best that I can, not being a professional. So to me, my finger's going to give me all those little ridges and texture. Okay, anything that is standing up high, I will softly sand off so that way it's nice and flat. But again, you wait until it's white before you do any of that. Just allow it to dry. Now, some of these areas are going to take a couple of coats, especially this area right here. I'm going to have to build it out. Also, you want to be sure that you're feathering into good wall, so that way you don't see a little patch. You know what I'm saying? You want to feather that in and make it look nice. And I'm going to go around the house and I'm going to take care of all the little dings in the wall that's happened over the year and that I didn't take care of when I saw it. So I'm going to go around the house and I'm going to take care of all the walls. And again, once it turns white, then you can either sand it or you can paint it, whatever it is that you need to do. If you aren't already following me over on Instagram, I would love to have you over there. I share a lot about my daily life along with other routines that I follow. We do recipes and we talk about health and wellness, mental health, and of course I throw in time with my kids and my grandkids. There's just a lot of fun to be had over there. Anything that I feel that will inspire you to reclaim peace in your life, I put over there. So you can find me at michellelowe.getinspired. I've been considering starting a Facebook page because I know that some of you don't use Instagram. Would you let me know below if you would like me to start a Facebook page? Okay, so this very first patch is dry. I've already sanded it. That's why you see me using the brush to kind of brush off any of the sanding. And I can see that it doesn't look right here in this little corner. So I'm going to go ahead and build that up a little bit more and add a little bit of more texture to it. And then sand it again once it's dry. And we'll see what it looks like then. All right, so we're back to the very first corner that I did. I've already sanded it. Everything looks good. Now I'm going to touch up paint. And in this, I go ahead and touch up paint not only the areas that I fixed, but I also touch up paint any marks in the wall. Now, I prefer flat paint in my home. So, and we know that flat paint is hard to clean. But I just go around and I touch up areas that have grime or dirty, not grime, because you can wipe off grime off the wall and then go ahead and paint over it. So I'm not grime, but where the kids touch it or the dog comes around the corner and you can see a little dirt spot. I want to get all those painted. Again, this is down at the bottom and I've already sanded it. It looks good. It matches the walls and I'm just going to touch up paint. I also like to either use a chip brush, which is just it's a brush it's uneven, all that, and I can go in and paint these, or I can use a foam brush. I like to do these because they're cheap and I can throw them away. I don't have to wash them. Just quickly go around the house and touch up paint any areas that are discolored or, you know, marred or anything like that. I kind of really enjoy this process. It is kind of relaxing just to go around and touch up paint, you know, these areas. But, you know, another thing that I needed to tell you is once you touch up paint, you want to be sure that you're feathering it out, okay? Don't just put a glob there and think that it's gonna look nice, because your walls have been there for a while and, you know, they've discolored over time, just, you know, by being in the world. You know what I'm saying? You know, the sun comes in through these windows, it's going to fade that wall a little bit more than the darker side of the wall, things like that. So when you do this, be sure that you're feathering it out so that way it matches the rest of the wall. Alright, so the next thing I do is I vacuum tracks. And this right here is what I use, is my Bissell Zing. It's absolutely fabulous. It's lightweight, but it's got great suction. I'm going to go ahead and just put the attachments on, and I am going to vacuum these tracks. We get lots of fur in these tracks because of the dogs. Also, the kids come in and out from the pool, and look at all that fur. Ugh. Anyways, the kids come in and out from the pool, and then also, you know, the dirt and things like that from the outside. So I'm going to vacuum these tracks, and then I also vacuum all the tracks of the windows and get out any debris before I get in there and, you know, oil or anything like that. So that's what we're going to be doing next. Go ahead and get in there and vacuum the tracks the best that you can. These are really hard because they're deep. Sometimes I'll get in there with a little brush, or yeah, like a scrubby brush. It's got the, you know, real stiff bristles, and I'll get in there and I'll scrub everything out. But I will be doing a pressure wash of the outside of the house, and when I do that, of course, I shut the window or shut the slider, and then I get in there and I pressure wash the outside of it. So I don't need to do it on this side. On the inside, I do that brush, and I get in there and I you know, get out anything that might be stuck in there. That's going to make these tracks run a lot better, along with a little bit of lubrication, and I'll show you how I do that. And then for the window tracks, it just gets all the dirt out of those, you know, out of the tracks when you open the window and you see the dirt. This helps to, you know, remove all of that. Okay, now that we're in my hallway, I'm also going to be adding in baseboards. So I'll be doing the baseboards and the windows. I like to try to get things done. You know, if I've got this Bissell Zing out, I'm going to try to do everything on the list. So my baseboards, my windows, things like that that I would use this Bissell for. So you'll see me doing the baseboards, and then you're going to see me go back up and I'm going to do the windows. even if the window doesn't open, I still like to get in there and get the window seal. I go all the way around because, you know, I want to be sure that I get any cobwebs, things like that. Just get everything a very good vacuum. Get those seals nice and clean. So that way, if you come back and you want to use a wet rag, you're not sealing any of that mud and dirt into anything. Now, like I said, I will be doing a pressure wash of the house. And these seals kind of get wet when you do a pressure wash. So I'm not going to go in there and clean these until after I do the outside of the house. Okay, so this is the product that I use for my hinges and my sliders. This is a non-stick product. It's also a dry oil, so you're not going to have dripping oil like if you were to do W40 or whatever it's called, WD-40. It would, you know, drip, things like that. So this is a dry oil. Absolutely love this stuff. Occasionally, if it's, you know, wet on the outside, you'll see me wipe it, but I go and I do all of my hinges, any moving part on the door, the hinges, the door latch, the lock, things like that. You're going to see me do all that. And it just makes everything run so smoothly. I go around the house and I do all the hinges of the door, and again, the door handles. Gets rid of all that squeaking or makes it where it doesn't happen at all. It keeps it from squeaking. So, and then you'll also see me do my sliders. I love to do the sliders with it. However, I have to do it more often than once a year on my sliders because it gets a lot of wear and tear and it gets a lot of water. I also do the windows. Now here on these windows, that little metal piece, it's like a little metal, it's not a strip, it's like a wire. That's the part that you need to get on here. Okay, and once you do that and you slide it up and down, it's going to make a nice slide so that it's not sticking. Alright, so now I'm in the kitchen and I like to go ahead and take care of the cabinets. So in my little bucket there, I have some warm water with some Dawn soap. Not too much soap, you know, just enough, you know, to get a good clean, but not too much where it's going to leave spots and things like that, where you have to go back and use water to wipe everything off. So just enough. And I just use my microfiber cloth, my favorite ones. I will definitely link them below. And then I wipe down the cabinets. You're going to want to be sure that you're getting any of the oils and things like that off of your cabinets, because later I'm going to be coming in with a product that is going to condition the wood of all these cabinets. Okay, so right here above this range hood, you know, it gets really oily. So I'm going to have to focus more time and attention here. You see me using my fingers to feel for any oil. You don't want to scrub too hard. That's why I'm using a soft microfiber cloth, because I don't want to, you know, mess up my wood. Now I'm able to use this much water on this wood and it not affect it, because I do have a conditioner on there that seals the wood. It puts a nice hard wax on the wood. So I am, you know, giving it a good rub, because there's a lot of oil up there that, you know, gets trapped up there when you cook and things like that. But I will be coming back and I'll be putting that conditioner on there. It's a wax and feed, so it's going to feed the wood, and then it's going to harden into a wax on the wood, so that way it's protecting it. All right, so just like with my walls, I like to use a wood touch-up marker, and I like to fill in any dings that might be in the wood. Now this marker does match my wood color, but you're going to go ahead and you're just going to quickly dab it on, and then take a cloth and wipe off any residual. If you need to do a second coat, go ahead and do a second coat. But you just don't want to put the marker on and then walk away, because you will see a little darker spot there, or a discolored spot. So this is only to fill in where, you know, the wood has kind of chipped away or it's worn off, things like that. And it quickly takes care of it. Again, you just put it on and then you wipe it off. Be sure that you're getting the color closest to your wood, okay? I'm going to link this one on Amazon, but when you get on there, find the color on the color chart that's closest to your wood. This cabinet here is where Michael and I put in the trash can, and it really mars right here in this section. So I'm going to go ahead and touch that up. It also got on the door, so I will have to touch that up too, as you can see. This was after we built the house. We went ahead and put this in, so it doesn't completely go over that edge nicely like I wish it would. But anyways, so once you do that and you go around all around your house, or I even do it in my bathrooms, so you're only seeing me do everything in the kitchen, but what you see me doing on the cabinets in the kitchen, I also do in both bathrooms. Okay, so I go around and I just touch up anywhere I see just a little mark, touch it up and wipe it off. Okay, so this is the Howard Feed and Wax, and this is what conditions my cabinets. Now you're going to use a lint-free cloth to apply it. This stuff is kind of, I don't want to say sticky, but what would you say? Like a petroleum jelly maybe? I don't even know if that's the right word. But anyways, you just take it and you rub it on, okay? You're going to allow it to sit a little bit so that way the wood can, bring in the oil into the wood. It also helps to harden the wax. Then you'll come back with a soft cloth and you'll buff it out. Now, admittedly, this does take some time, but it does make a huge difference in the beauty of the wood. Because the wood begins, over time, it begins to look dull. And this will bring the beauty of the wood back. That's why I love it so much. I also love it because it hardens into a wax. So that way, when I do clean my cabinets, I'm not worried that I am, messing with the integrity of the wood. So I'm going to show you side by side. The one on the left doesn't have any oil on it. The one on the right does. Now, I have not buffed it yet, okay? I'm allowing it to, take that big drink and allowing for that wax to harden. And then I will go back and I will softly buff it out with a microfiber cloth. Okay, so I'm showing you on this cabinet. See the little dry spot right there? you want to come back and you want to touch up those dry spots. That needs a little bit more conditioning right there in that area. So before I start buffing and I allow it to sit, I will come back and I will look and see, is there any dry spots? If there is, I will go back and I will add a little bit more product because the wood is saying, hey, I'm still thirsty. I need some more condition. So that's what you see me doing here. Of course, this is the right above the range. I did, you know, a lot of work there when I was getting all that oil off. So that's probably why it needed a little extra. Sometimes it'll also do it right around the handles where you're constantly touching. You'll need a little bit more feed and wax or wax and feed. I think it's feed and wax. I always get it mixed up. Anyways, so now I'm going to come and I'm going to buff off that oily look. Anything that's left over needs to go ahead and be buffed off, and that's what you see me doing here. So does this take a lot of time? Yes, it does take a lot of time. But does it make a huge difference? Yes, it definitely makes a huge difference. I do have the large windows in this house, and the morning sun floods these cabinets. And doing this helps to make it where my cabinet doors and things like that are not fading from the sun hitting them. So it's well worth the time that it takes me to do this. Just, you know, pop in some earbuds, listen to a podcast, listen to a book, listen to the Bible recap, you know, the things that you like to do that's going to keep your mind busy while you do this monotonous chore. It makes a huge difference. And you're only doing it once a year. So, you know, one day a year to get all these cabinets done. And again, it keeps them beautiful. Now, I'm not going to take the time to pull everything out of the cabinet and do the wood in the back of the cabinet. I do that occasionally. When I pull everything out, one day a year, I will do the backs of those cabinets. However, I just recently put these cabinets together because this is my my spring look. So I'm not going to go ahead and take everything out and do the cabinets. But when I pull everything out again, because seasonally I like to go in there and change up the cabinets, the insides of the cabinets, then I'll be mindful to get in there and do this to the inside of the wood. Okay, so now I'm going to pull out my Bissell Steam Shot, and we are going to steam clean the Backsplash and my Granite. I like to seal my Granite every year. You can tell that if your Granite needs to be sealed, because if you put some water on the Granite and it soaks in, it needs to be sealed. If it beads up and stays beaded up, then it does not need to be sealed. Okay, so I'm going to get some of these spots. You can see that the back of the counter is lighter. That's where I keep a trivet there, or a large round. I keep all my oils and things like that on it. And then the stuff forward is definitely discolored. So I want to get in here, and I want to steam around any of the edges, like right here around the edge of the stovetop, the grout line. I'll also be doing the backsplash. This will help to remove any of the oils, any of the dirt. It just cleans everything up nicely. And then once everything dries, I will come in and I will seal the Granite. The Bissell Steam Shot comes with many attachments, so I'm going to go ahead and use this one so that way I can take care of the backsplash. I go ahead and I use a microfiber cloth, and I put a rubber band to hold it. The Bissell does come with this, but it doesn't last very long, so I like to go ahead and just use microfiber cloths. I'll switch out the cloths if I need to. If it gets too wet, I'll go ahead and switch it out, or if it gets too dirty. All right, so I'm going to steam shot it, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to dry it off so that way it's nice and shiny. Okay, and then I'm also going to do the counters, the Granite, like this. Of course, I'm going a lot slower. You're going to want to go, not at warp speed to get all this cleaned up. You're pulling up any of the oils and things like that that get stuck into your Granite. You don't want to seal all that in with your sealer. So I'm getting in and I'm getting it all clean, and see, now it's matching up. I don't have like a little lighter spot because I'm in here, really getting it all clean. Now I've taken everything off of these cabinets and I've put it over onto the bar area. So you're not going to see me do the bar area, because that's just monotonous to watch me do the whole thing. Anyways, but again, you just take everything off. I did leave my little Alexa there because I didn't want to have to reset everything. So I just left her there and just move her around. And again, you're going to do this, and then you're going to dry everything off before you seal it. Actually, I wait a whole day and I make sure that everything is dry. Okay. And then now is the day that I'm going to seal all the counters. This is the product that I'm going to be using today. It's the Stone Pro Sealer. There's all different types that you can use. This is the one that I used on this day. I've used a different one, but look it up, figure out which one you want. I will link this one. And the way that you do this one is you pour about a dinner plate size onto the Granite, and then you use your foam brush and you wipe it over the Granite. Okay, you want to be sure that everything is staying wet. You don't want it to dry onto your counter, your Granite. Why do I keep calling it a counter? Because it is a counter. But anyways, you don't want it to dry into the Granite. You're wanting the Granite to absorb everything that it needs, and then you're going to get in here and you're going to wipe everything off. If it dries, it's going to haze. So I turned on the light to show you that yes, everything is still very wet on there. You're going to keep checking it and being sure that it stays wet. Then after a certain time, I don't remember, it says it on the back of the bottle, you'll come in and you'll wipe everything off. Okay, so you're going to see me do that. This is a process. I do open the doors, I open the windows for any fumes, but this product doesn't have a whole lot of fumes. So anyways, all right, let's get these done. Okay, so before I go and I work on the other counter where the coffee bar is, I just check and be sure that everything is staying wet. Again, you do not want this to dry. If it happens to dry, there's a way to, fix that. But if you can prevent it, let's try to prevent it. So Michael told me to go ahead and unplug the Alexa, and he would get it all set up for me, which is good because I need to get this little back corner over here. I want to be sure everything is done. And this will last me the whole year, unless you are really rough on your counters, But again, if you put water on the counter and it beads up, you do not need to redo this. Okay, you're just wasting time. But if you put water on the counter and it sucks in, then you definitely need to be doing this because your granite would not be protected. Okay, so now I'm going to take a microfiber cloth and I'm going to come back and I'm going to wipe all of this down until everything is dry. Okay, you don't want any water or anything like that to be sitting on here because it will get hazy if you do that. So you go in here and you grab a microfiber cloth. I don't use my best microfibers for this. Okay, I'm not going to use my really good e-cloths for this, but I will use some of my favorite microfibers, the ones that I'm going to link down below for you. They're not that expensive, but they're great microfibers. They're going to really, pull up any of this product. You're going to go in here and you're just going to buff it in and be sure that everything is dry. And then you're going to allow this to dry. I allow it to dry overnight before I put anything back onto this counter. Now, I do have everything over on the bar, like I said, so I'm going to have to do the bar area at a different time. Once I get everything off, I'll go over and I'll do the bar area tomorrow or the next day, whatever. That area is important because it has a lot of water because that's where the sink is. So you want to be sure, that you don't miss around your sink. Your sink and around your stovetop is going to be very important because these things really absorb any of the food, oils, things like that, water, anything like that, it's going to absorb. So let's get these sealed and you are good to go for the next year. Now, just look at the shine on the granite. Isn't that beautiful? I absolutely love it when my granite shines. It's the reason that I got granite, Okay, and then look at the wood. The wood looks beautiful. Everything is nice and waxed. It's protected for the rest of the year. Okay, friends, I hope that you liked this video. If you did, would you please give me a big thumbs up? And if you haven't already subscribed, click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you get reminded every time I post a new video. Now, I'm not going to be posting this Sunday because it's Easter, but you will have a video for Saturday. I'm going to leave this video for you to go see next. It's all of my favorite products and tools that I use when I'm cleaning. I will see you again next week. Until then, stay blessed, my friends.